fight together. Yeah, I was asking Jesus, so what am I talking about? And he goes, I'll tell you. It's like, oh, good. I guess he'll be telling Tyra and me at the same time. Because I don't have a clue really about it. And you start to see that's love. Because whatever would come would be out of the unknowing, not knowing anything. And that's where happiness is, in the unknowing, the unplanned. We can see with the light of infinite being, it doesn't have a little pencil and a paper and planning anything. And I can see it's really dropping the idea, the planning idea, or just being each day with Jesus, like each day with each other so fully, just so full of the love that we are. There's not like a little foothold for the idea that something's actually happening in form. Yeah, you can only really point to love. You can't talk about love. It's actually unspeakable. It doesn't have a voice. We can only speak as love, the voice for God, which is the voice for love that's ever present. Infinite now, this here, you can't even, there are just no words. What we share has no words. The only thing we share has absolutely no words to it. Love doesn't know what a word is. I asked Jesus, does love know what a word is? Like we think we know what love is. Hey, let's ask Jesus. Jesus, do I know what love is? The love of this world is a concept. It's a little cookie cutter cutout for what love is. Like when you make a little cookie and you share it, that's love. You see, you break a piece of your cookie off and you give it away. Like, and then somebody eats it and then you go, where's my cookie? That's what the idea of love is. The concept of what love is. Love's beyond all ideas. Ever present. God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. God being here, the totality of what is. And I could see the little play of the what isn't and the what wasn't and what can't be. That's the play. The what never happened. What can't happen, what won't happen, what's impossible. I'm asking, that's what thoughts are. A play of impossibilities trying to glue them, staple themselves together to be a possibility. That infinite love's MIA, missing in action. It's really good. Jesus, is it good to start and not know what love is? He said yes. Because when you really, because the you, the I, the person can't know it. The you that you are is it. So the play in consciousness is to search when we've already been tagged by God. I'm going to look at form and I'm going to be really angry because it's not here already. No, it's always here. The anger is to hide from the it's here. That love's here. The anger is to give love for the boot from our awareness. It's to give what we already are. Send it, cast it out. Try to cast it out somewhere. And then we stay in the desert of death and destruction. But then, because the consciousness plays that way because it knows it can. It knows that even if it plays like that, how does it change the light? Ask Jesus. Jesus, does anything of this world change the light that I am? Like we look in there. The challenge isn't where's the light, because the light's here. The challenge is refusing to admit I am that. Remember Nisargadatta goes, I am that. And even when you say, you can go, okay, I'm this. Jesus is going to show us how much we don't want to truly be that. Even when we say, okay, I'm the light. I mean, it's not like you just go around and announce it in the street. I'm the light. The light doesn't need to announce anything. It just is. But it's this not wanting to fully, not only admit it, but look. Keep looking at those. No, I'm not that. Anything but that. Anything. To start to see that every time a tiny little tension, we can ask Jesus, Jesus, the tiniest itty bitty little tension, yes. That's casting it out. He's saying yes. We can see it. We can ask him. Everyone here can hear him. Teeny tiny. That seems inconceivable. So Jesus, we have to admit that the teeniest, teeny, weeny, itty bitty little twitch is a desire to say no to light and hear him. Every single one, Jesus? Are there any exceptions to even a single twitch that I don't need to see that it's every twitch is dreaming? Wow. No exceptions, Jesus. Ask them. You can hear them. Everybody can hear them. Any exceptions to twitch? Consciousness is a twitch factory. It's just Jesus. Jesus is, at least we can laugh about it. Jesus, is consciousness a twitch factory? It's really funny when he says yes. A factory of pushing light out of awareness. And wanting light to be other than it is. And trying to sneak and keep a little bit of that personal identity in there. Trying to have both worlds. Like we talked about. The boat on the dock. You know, the boat in the dock, and then have 1 foot on the dock and 1 foot on the boat, and just try to hold, see how much effort it takes to keep that together. But eventually, we're going in the water. Because it's not natural. We want to keep some smidgen, not we, consciousness plays to keep its little hidden smidgens. Ask Jesus. Jesus, is consciousness a play to keep little smidgens of hell in the mind? See, we don't call it hell. See, the desire, the belief is that somewhere down there, that little patch of personal identity is heaven. There's a little scrap in there that can be kept. You can ask him in truth, can that be kept and be supremely happy? No, because it's still in the dreaming, the desire for experience of an object, to be an object acted on by the world. Just wanting that choice, the deliciousness of choice. You can ask him, Jesus, do I, in truth, below my level of awareness, do I find choice really delicious? This really want it more than God. Very humbly when the experience here, when he shows me that, it's like, yes, you do. Oh, I do, Jesus. I really, to be shown. Just ask him to take you to the death wish as quickly as possible. I'm asking him, yes. Because, you know, the way it plays, the reason why that we don't release to the miracles, because we, as he says, there's a belief that somewhere down there, some piece of personal identity is salvation from God. And so then it's like it's a lockdown. It's going to be a lockdown on that. And it's holding on to deny the miracle. Like no and no, triple no, because there's some desire below the level of awareness where we're going to find salvation from God in it. So it's really helpful when you're going down, okay, it shows you desire, keep asking, is there anything to see? Have I taken this all the way down to see all the way through it, to see if there's any belief in salvation down there in that desired experience? See, the more attached we are to the idea that salvation lies in whatever he's showing us, that's why we don't release to a miracle. So it's helpful when you going down with him, choice. Okay, show me that desire for choice. Show me how I really want choice. I want choice. I want choice. Can I see more on choice, Jesus? Can I see more? Clear it. Can I see more? And just he'll keep bringing you down. Show me how the illusion in the mind, the illusion that somehow choice is salvation. Because choice is hell. Ask him, Jesus, is choice, the belief in choice, hell? The belief that I can choose something over something else? He says, you think you have a choice not to speak to me too. Jesus, do I have a desire not to speak to you? Sometimes, he says. That's just a symbol of not wanting to speak to ourselves. You know, our mind kind of wanders off into planning, trying to build a better tomorrow, making sure tomorrow's going to be okay and that we're protected. Jesus, is that a desire for choice? He says, yes. So what do we need? What miracles, Jesus, will you show us? So much love comes when you sally on up to him and say, okay, which miracle, Jesus? And you just get these little love cuddles. At first the ego goes, that's the last thing I'm thinking I'm wanting to be doing. That's why we really have to stand into it. You know, there's a number of beings kind of reporting they feel like they're under fire. Just ignore all that. It's easy for me to say now. You know, once you kind of go through the fire burn, I don't know, maybe more will come up, but we know who to go to. But you can't ignore it, Jesus says. You can ignore all of it. It's not real. I'm asking him, that true use of denial? He says, yep. It's acceptance of divine power, not to get into that kerfuffling. It's such a habit to be kerfuffled, to be one little kerfuffle of hell. It's a habit. Yes, Jesus said, yep, it's a habit. Okay. Oh, come to me and I will give you rest. And just see where you don't want rest. Okay, Jesus, I'm willing to look. Let's see if there's anything else under the subconscious mind I need to see. He says, see that supreme happiness is yours always, unless you're dreaming. See how strong that addiction is to a dream. Jesus, am I addicted to a dream? Whenever you affiliate with anything, that was really the beauty of the lesson for today. Lesson number 2. I'm asking him, can we dive in there dive into that lesson? He goes, yeah. Like, to so get it that that's all there is for us, the lesson. Jesus says, that would be good. He really will crack you up, for sure. He goes, yeah, because you take things too seriously. He knows our sense of humor. It's just beautiful, and all the beings start telling when they look over and they're asking him something about something, and he's just laughing because he's not taking it seriously. I have given everything I see in this room all the meaning it has for me. Do you want to say anything about that? He says, yes. Let's need to something. See something. He's saying infinite love has no meaning whatsoever. Meaning creates the experience of cause, that there's something cause and effect. When you give it a meaning, it's like automatic subject to cause and effect. To give it meaning is to try to get it outside, because love doesn't cast anything outside of itself because it just is, just here, infinite light. It doesn't know a meaning. Meaning's not on that hard drive, there's love just is, and then that's so meaning is a limitation, attempt to limit, and the habit of consciousness to split hairs, literally just split. So as soon as an object is pulled out of the total and given meaning, it's separation. Experience is separation from something, because then it's an object and a subject. There's the object, here's the subject. So the question Jesus has, is that true? Is there a subject and an object in our direct experiences? Light being, can we find a subject and an object in truth, in light? That'll send you infinite when you start to look at that right there. Not send you, you'll recognize it, because you'll see there's no subject and object split. It's just subject, what is. And so when you look over at something, he's starting to show us, I've given everything. So consciousness arises and then likes to label. How much of our lives did we spend on labeling in school? Just out of the play of consciousness. Nobody's doing it. It's just a play in consciousness. Okay, we learn what an apple is and a pear, the chalkboard, what another student is. So we can experience an I, me, and then them, those, others. And look upon the world without meaning. What if it just dropped all meaning, just walked around and with nothing had any meaning? I'm going, is that good? Yeah. Just drop meaning just for a day. Let's see. I'm asking him, he's really saying that. He said, you feel like you believe you'd be incinerated if you didn't label everything. Because that's the beliefs you have about God. He's coming to incinerate you. But I can assure you, that's just not even in his radar. But what will burn is the chaff, the idea of giving everything, that something outside can have meaning, knowledge. To give something meaning is to bite from the apple of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. See, meaning, as soon as that lamp means something, that microphone, that computer, you feel relative to something. You're going to feel relative. There's something here and something over there. And see, love can't see, it doesn't know objects. Is the light no object? Does it know an object? Infinite love. Is that an object, love? Is love an object? Thankfully, I tell you it is not. You're not an object. And as soon as you label something, you'll feel like one. Because you become relative immediately. As soon as something's given a meaning, it's you and it. That's why he starts with, I've given everything I see. Because without accepting the play of consciousness to generate a screen of things dancing and then giving meaning to everything, you start to see that how much death is in that. Well, it's like Jesus. Well, how can I be practical if I can't give it? To give meaning is to be apart from it. You can still function. He says, yes, you can still function. You don't need to label everything. You let me label everything. That's what he's saying. You let me label everything. I'll label what you need in function. You just drop all the ideas, he says. Yes, so much love in that. So much love. Just love and love and love. You think you need it. You do not need it. You do not need to label anything. He's saying you don't need to label anything. There's such a deep desire to label. He's pointing to sameness. See, as soon as things are labeled, they're split out. That's a fractionation of consciousness into little bits and pieces and ordering thoughts. I'm asking him, yeah, that's ordering thoughts. Some things become more important, more valuable than others. That's why we have to let him give the value to everything, anything having to do with what seems an object. He has to give the value to it. because as soon as that labeling occurs, then you can see it becomes the fool's gold. You know, I'm going to hold on to this object. Out of all the objects, I have to have gold, I have to have silver, I have to have platinum. I have to have it. What need has a divine being for that? See that love doesn't label. It's celebration of sameness, totality, celebrating infinitely. So I'm asking about, so when we give everything like a label, like he's saying, everything in this room has the meaning, that's choice. It's a choice to give it, it's a choice to be separate from it. To feel separate. We can't be separate because the dream is, we're the dreamer of the dream. We don't have to live affiliated with it. It's not the keeper of happiness. God is the keeper of all happiness. So he gently has to start looking around at objects and going, we're not object magnets. You know? But just see the forces when it has a meaning. It's never neutral. When have we ever given it? It's non-neutral. Do you see that love is just is? It's not attracted or repelled by anything in the surroundings. Can you find a way when we look? Is love is infinite love and light repelled or held by any object? It's just here. Light's here. It doesn't know that it's not in its experience. Our experience as light beings to be repelled and attracted by things. You see, then it's like we're living in we don't see how we live in like a pinball machine. The ball's coming down, we bounce off of objects, we're attracted to some objects and pushed. But that's because we've abdicated meaning to an object that doesn't exist. And as soon as we give meaning, the meaning that orders the thoughts. Then there's an order. Certain objects are more important than other objects. And then we feel bound by them. If we're bound by an object, that meaning is a denial of love. You can ask Jesus, so when I give something meaning, did I just deny love? And hear what he says. And am I choosing that? Am I choosing to give it meaning to deny myself love? And you can hear his yes. That's how love is denied, through the choice to give some objects more meaning than other objects. So he's really teaching us, he's starting out right out the gate, showing exactly where the miscreation is. Lesson 2, lesson 1. This door does not mean anything. Wow. I remember reading that lesson. Like there was something true about that. But you don't, because we know it at a deep level. Jesus, do I already ask him? Do I already know this door doesn't mean anything? He says yes. He never tells me no. Yes, you know it. The truth of who you are knows that door means nothing. That window means nothing. This hand means nothing. Oh, I don't want to see that. What? Oh, that's deep. I can look at the door and don't look at my hand. But he says it. This body does not mean anything. So let's go ahead and get him to show it. Let's just look. Jesus, does this body mean anything? Because we can talk to him. So we just have that direct experience. Might as well look at it. Do I already know that this body means nothing? Do I already know this lamp means nothing? In honesty of God. Honesty of God. See, this is really good. Thanks, Jesus. This sign, does this rug mean anything, Jesus? Do I already know it means nothing? And hear the yes. See, hear the light tell you, you already know it doesn't mean anything. Now that's humbling, that the body doesn't mean anything. We already know these things. But he's gradually through the course reintroducing us to the truth that we're playing like everything means something that it can't mean. Is that it, Jesus? Is so is it Jesus? It's a desired experience to give everything I see meaning it does not have. The yes. It's the desire for an experience of giving everything meaning it does not have. And Jesus, as soon as I give it meaning, does that mean I'll be completely out of awareness of light? And hear what he says. So, okay. Supreme happiness is not giving anything meaning, isn't it, Jesus? And feel the love that comes from that conversation. So not having any meaning for anything is supreme happiness. Not labeling anything. So Jesus, really, I don't need to label anything? You sure? He says, does divine light label anything? It's that habit and consciousness. It's a labeler. You know those little punch it label machines? Jesus, are we stitching those labels on everything? He's going, yep. In our minds are so powerful. It's continuing stitching the labels. And that's what denies miracles, doesn't it, Jesus? Yes. Labeling everything. And that's happening below my level of awareness. Hear him. Yes. So Jesus, so this whole gig is to obscure below my level of awareness all the places that I'm giving everything I see meaning. You hear that? Yes. So the play of consciousness is to obscure that we're giving everything meaning. And he's starting out the gate, lesson 2, going, you need to see that I'm choosing to give everything. I desire, Jesus, here we go. Do I desire an experience of giving everything I see meaning that it doesn't have, that it can't have? He's saying, and know that you'll be so much happier without any meaning whatsoever for anything. So Jesus, that's just a habit. Yes, it's just a habit. You get the love hugs when you have a conversation. Oh, so much love comes from that. Because he's reassuring us that these are just ideas. This meaning for things are just ideas. So much love in that. So supreme happiness is really seeing that things have no meaning. Yes. Love doesn't need a meaning. Love just is. I'm talking to him about, so he's saying, you think meaning proves your existence, can prove that you're here. You don't need to prove you're here. You're here, you're light. You're trying to use Jesus. Is there a belief below my level of awareness that assigning meaning to things is salvation? Hear that? Yes. You can hear that? Yes. That's why it persists, giving labels to things, because there's a belief below the level of awareness that that's salvation in labeling everything. He goes, this need not be. This need not be. I'm asking him, we can look directly now. He says, yes. So I'm talking to him about, so you're offering to show us all the meaning and release these meanings. See, that's what we're looking at. All the things that we're making mean something that mean nothing. Yes, to help you see what you already know, that they mean nothing. You know they mean nothing. But you want them to mean something, therefore they will persist in consciousness. And that's why we must let him reinterpret. Because as long as we're interpreting, our consciousness is playing to interpret, we'll feel like an object that's small and weak and is controlled and subject to the rules of the world. Label free. Hashtag label free. New hashtag. Hashtag label free. I said, Jesus, this is happiness. He said, yes. No labels. See that light doesn't have a little sign on it with the label. Does the light have a sign? He's reminding me. No, it's label free. There are no labels in infinite light of being. It just is. Thank you for this holy gathering, Jesus, to look at these things so deeply and see how much death there is in labeling, for sure. And it's innocent because, but we've hidden it so dark. That's why we need them again to go down and show where I given everything I see in this room, all the meaning that it has for me, the desire for the experience, for choice, the choice to label something, to split it away from us, seem apart. And to let those desires just rise up, the desire to label everything, label our brother, label everything, and just drop that from mind forever, to see that eventually it just fall away and we don't even remember that it happened. Ask Jesus. He says, just keep looking with me. That's love. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you for this holy meeting together to look so deeply to see what's true. Love from San Juan Coastal at all of you. I'm looking for collaborators. If anyone feels the spark to join in collaboration of some sort, it'll be guided by Jesus. So we can play together in celebration of holiness and seeing what's true.